Okay, hello everybody. I'm Netali Jakubovitz and I'm a product manager at Doodle's Tel Aviv office. And today, I actually want to tell you a story. The story I want to tell you is called The Great Adventure of the Doodle Bot. It takes place in early 2019, but still it might sound familiar to you because like all the great movies and books, the Doodle Bot story follows the similar path, the central narrative of the hero's journey. So, since the Doodle Bot is no exception, let's get to it. This is the path of the hero's journey structure, right? Every hero goes through it. It starts and ends in the ordinary world. The hero goes through an adventure. On the way, they see some enemies and allies, they face trials, and when they make their way back to the ordinary world, they're no longer the same person they were when they embarked on the adventure. So let's just start. The ordinary world, where our story begins, the day-to-day world in Doodle, just routine life, okay? And this is what it means for us at Doodle. At Doodle, we wake up every morning to make busy professionals like yourselves overcome the struggles of scheduling at work. We know it's a struggle, right? And we do it by building really nifty tools. One of those tools is the Doodle Web Time Pulse. So, okay, let me just ask a question. How many of you have already created a Doodle poll before today? Okay, almost 100%. That's kind of cool because this tool is used by 30 million users every month across the world. And by the show of hands, I think our stats are still in order, and that's a good thing. But as you know, you pick a few time options, you put it in a poll view, you share it with your guests, and then when everybody votes, it's pretty easy to see what's the best time to meet. Pretty cool, you know that. Now, another tool we're building is the Mikan bot. It's operating on Slack, so the communication tool for busy professionals at work, right? So the way Mikan works is it suggests a few time options for you and your team members, and you just see it. It goes through everybody's calendars. It's pretty smart, and then it's easy to just book the meeting inside Slack. It's done. Very cool. This is our ordinary world, but this is an adventure. It's a hero's journey, and we were pretty quickly called to an adventure with working on Mikan. We were introduced to a challenge that will forever change our lives. And this is how it goes. Our many users, both for Mikan and for Doodle, were saying to us, listen, we love Doodle polls, but we need them on Slack. Do you have something as simple as Doodle? I just want it on Slack. And the requests kept coming in and in and in, and we were just there having to listen to our users in the end of the day. And it made sense, right? Because if you think about it, Doodle's set of tools is meant for busy professionals to schedule meetings at work. Slack is a communication for people who talk at work. The alignment is pretty natural, and we said to ourselves, okay, the user base is pretty similar. The fit works, but this was not on our roadmap. So, like every hero, we were refusing our call to this adventure. We were saying to ourselves, why fix something that really ain't broken? And we were telling ourselves to build a plan for this product, to get the engineering resources, design, and then just test it again and again until it fits perfectly. How do we take Doodle from something we all know and love for over 10 years and put it in Slack? It's a completely different world. Maybe it's not really the same users. Maybe they won't like it in Slack. Too many open questions. We were not ready for it. Too unfamiliar world. Too much of an adventurous thing to go on. We said, okay, we hear you, users. We will take this as a side project, we will develop this, we will see where it takes us, but definitely no big launch or buzz or media, nothing. Side project. But you know, like every hero, that's the moment where we met with a wise mentor who gave us the nudge we needed. Because right there and then was the moment when, like Neo met Morpheus, like when Luke met Obi-Wan Kenobi, we at Doodle, we met Slack. Because right around that time, Slack were developing a new feature on their own. So they were developing this block kit. It's basically a set of new fancy buttons and menus that you can use to build your application's interface on Slack. And since we were merely experimenting, we were just playing with it. So we sketched around and we shared the sketches and we were happy and, you know, just enjoying it, sent it to Slack as well, and then they just fell in love with it. And when they saw it, they said, guys, we have something here, and we should launch this product together. A go-to-market exclusive partnership was on the table for us if we could take Doodle, develop it as a complete product on Slack in 2 months. Because that's the deadline Slack set for themselves. And we were looking at this new call to adventure, this opportunity, and basically assessing the situation. Okay, we have an unfamiliar technology here. We have an unexpected product challenge, but it's too good. We have to take this adventure. It's too interesting. The users are calling us. Let's take it. And off to the adventure we went, and into the unfamiliar and adventurous part of this journey we got into. And of course, this is a business, so we have to set some goals. So we told ourselves this would be worth it if we could reach 1,000 connected teams using Doodle on Slack in 2 months from the launch. And we mean not 1,000 users, we mean 1,000 Tamedias around the world using Doodle now on Slack. So we did not know if it's the same users. We did not know if it's going to be a great product we will be able to develop in 2 months. But no time to answer those questions because we were already on the adventure and we committed wholeheartedly to take this on. Now we're moving forward and we're getting into this adventurous world, and on the way we're facing trials and we're making some allies, and one of the best allies that we made in this process was Slack themselves, because we were working with their designers, their product managers, and their engineers very closely on a day-to-day basis, and it was a great opportunity for us to see how those tech giants tackle on challenges just like us, and we definitely grew from that. But not only that, also internally for us in Doodle, we are spread across 4 locations, and for the very first time, all 4 locations were focused on one single product, and we shared our knowledge that we never shared before, how to work on something in Slack, how to work on something like a Doodle poll on the web or in the app, and it was the very first time people from across 4 locations were working on something together. But okay, we're moving forward. The adventure is moving on, and we are approaching the hard part of the story, the moment we're starting to face some real challenges. So one of the biggest challenges for us from the very beginning was something that we wanted to face, but okay, it got there. How? How do we take Doodle polls, grid, visual expressiveness, and we turn it into a dynamic element on Slack that kind of matches a mental model, again, with 10 years of recognition. People know and love this product, and this is built in a table view. Slack works in a linear one. How do we do that? So we were sketching every day and scratching every day. And after a lot of tests, we got to a pivot that basically was the structure we felt was just right for us and was kind of cool. We like it. So this was the fun part. Overcoming technological and design challenges, it's what we do, it's fun. But this is exactly the moment where we get to the ordeal of the adventure. Now the ordeal is the moment when we were feeling like everything was coming crashing on us. And basically, there's just a number and series of events that came up every day. Let's start with the first one. First one was our lead engineer had to drop out of the project. Then another one. And then a designer had to be drawn to another project that was super important. Of course, we were just on a side project intentionally. And then we got to a situation where when teams were moving around, resources were really a struggle of every day. That meant that every day we needed to learn a new skill because we needed it to take my product plan and turn it into something real. So my product vision was we create an harmonious scheduling experience for Doodle to be for you no matter where you are. Every touch point you have with Doodle, you have it in complete sync. You can start your poll in Slack, you can vote on the web, you can share it with your guests no matter where they are, and it's completely manageable in all touch points. And that meant, and we did not know that at first, but that meant we had to mash together basically 2 technological mindsets, because we had Doodle on the one side an established infrastructure, and on the other side a new bot service we built on Slack. So when we want to connect multiple teams on Slack, because we all use multiple teams on Slack, to one Doodle account and control all of that through that, that meant we needed an expertise on the core services of Doodle. And we wanted to allow users to customize their settings right on Slack. You don't need to lose your context. But then that required another expertise from another team, and we had to call that guy because he knows the best. So all of the time we had to learn and go with the flow and understand what's happening. And this is just the internal interdependencies, because may I remind you, we were working with an external partner, meaning a foreign environment. So a complete black box, but not only for us, for Slack themselves, because they were developing this product as we were doing it. So every day when we were building something and it broke because things break when you build them, we did not know if it's us who broke it or someone in San Francisco. So we had to wait 8 hours until someone in San Francisco wakes up and says, yeah, it's you broke it. So this just is an everyday thing. And then, of course, in the middle of all of that, when we were trying to make it to the deadline, Slack announced their major rebranding. Now, you can love it or hate it, but for us it meant to go back to the drawing board and redesign all the web pages we already created, all the fancy buttons of add Doodle to Slack, all the marketing campaigns we already were ready with, and redo it. And that pushed our deadline every day. Slack had to push it because they were finding out things through us and with us, but in the end of the day, it means we need to be ready to launch every day, still build this, and not knowing. So uncertainty was constantly in the air. But with uncertainty comes a lot of rewards, because basically it allows you to see the challenges, learn how to overcome them, and just get to really fulfilling achievements. And when launch day has arrived, we were ecstatic. So imagine, across 4 locations of Doodle, people are turning off switches to turn this Doodle Slack service alive. And after 1 hour of being alive and in the air, we saw the first bug. And when we saw that first bug, we knew this is the moment where we sit back in our chairs and we fix those bugs and we help those users and we have a new product to develop. But we were fundamentally changed. Going back to this ordinary world, we were no longer the same people we were when we embarked on this adventure. Remember this goal we set for ourselves? This was supposed to be hit in 2 months. We hit it in 1 month. And this basically means in 1 month, 10,000 people across the world were using now Doodle on Slack. This was a big success for us. We did not see this achievement. We were not planning to see this kind of success. So today, we have 30,000 users using Doodle on Slack. It was not something we foresaw. It started as a side project. In 2 months, we were here. And this is not the only thing I took from this experience. Because me and my team, we were now in the ordinary world, but it's completely different because now we have a new product, right? So a new product to nurture for Doodle, and new users, and new scheduling challenges. And we are now a team of experts on this new feature for Slack builders. Plus, of course, we grew the Doodle cross-team knowledge by this, from 0 to a lot. And we were now ready to conquer the scheduling world. But the message I really want to share with you today with this story is not about Doodle or Slack. This is not really the story. The story is what you can do to take on a challenge and experience this as an adventure. Because, right, there's hurdles along the way. It's tough. There's a lot of uncertainty. But if you take it on as a challenge, you can learn a lot and grow and get to your new ordinary world. And this is what helped me to get to this point, and this is what I want to encourage you to do. Just next time Gandalf arrives to your office, go for the adventure. Thank you.